Have you noticed how at the beginning of any new project we are on fire? It's like when you buy a new notebook and swear that now will organize your whole life there. In the first days, you write capriciously, use bookmark, even make colored caption. But a week later, where is the notebook? Disappeared in limbo along with the motivation. It is. This is the inconvenient truth that nobody wants to hear, but we need to face. The motivation goes away. And it's not because there is something wrong with you. In reality, this is absolutely normal. The motivation is kind of like that crush excited on the first date. Sends you a message, makes promises, seems to last forever. But then comes the rainy Monday, the work accumulated, the tiredness beating and ready. Where is he? Disappeared without leaving a note. And this is where the danger lives. Because when the motivation disappears, we feel guilty. We start to think, oh, I don't have discipline even. Everyone can do it, but me, I don't think it was for me. And then, without realizing it, we enter into a cycle that only pulls us down. Calm down, breathe. I'm here with you. You don't need to depend on motivation to continue. Motivation is the start, but what really takes you far is something else. Discipline, constancy, and kindness to yourself in the process. The question worth gold is not how to keep motivation, but yes, what can I do when the motivation runs out? First, understand the cycle of procrastination. Do you know when you have something important to do, but instead you open Instagram, clean the fridge, rewatch a random episode of your favorite series, or just stare at the ceiling with a face of, "In a little while I do." Right. Welcome to the cycle of procrastination. And he is treacherous, see? It seems innocent, but it's a cycle that sucks energy, self-esteem, and time. Let's understand how it works, like a board game, only instead of advancing houses, you keep spinning in circles. Step 1, anxiety task. It all starts with a task. It can be answering that boring email, studying, finishing a project. Then just thinking about it beats a craving. The head begins to shout, "What if I do it wrong?" But it will take a lot of work. And no, I'm not in the mood right now. Step 2, anxiety procrastination. To escape the bad feeling, the brain seeks quick relief. And what gives immediate relief? That's right, distraction. Social media, food, random conversation, anything that takes the focus off the task. Procrastination looks like a warm blanket on a cold morning, comfortable at first, but then suffocates. Step 3, procrastination, guilt. Time passes, the task is still there, and now besides that, you are also to blame. Why am I like that? I knew I wouldn't make it. See, you never finish anything. This guilt comes with everything, and along with it, more anxiety. Step 4, blame paralysis. With so much pressure, guilt, and self-criticism, we get stuck. It is difficult to think about the next step, and the cycle repeats. But look, procrastinating is not laziness. It's a way to deal with internal discomfort. It's the brain trying to protect you, just in the wrong way. The good news? This cycle can be broken, and the key to that is minimal action plus compassion. The output, minimal action, no motivation. Are you ready to turn the tables? Because here comes one of the most powerful ideas you will hear today. You don't have to be motivated to act. You need to act so that the motivation comes. It's counterintuitive, I know. We were taught to wait for the right moment, that inner spark, the perfect mood with candlelight, lo-fi playlist, and inner peace. But real life doesn't expect all this. And you know what else? You don't have to wait either. The key to getting out of the cycle of procrastination is to act even without will, but calm down, not in the way that exhausts you. The idea here is minimal action with lightness and intention. Think of it this way, you don't have to climb the whole mountain now. You just need to take the first step. And sometimes that step is so small that it seems silly. But he has a superpower. He creates movement. Examples of minimal actions that unlock the process. If the problem is to start studying, open the material and read only the title of the class. If it is to go to the gym, put on the training clothes. That's all. If it's writing a text, open the file and write a bad sentence anyway. If it's cleaning the house, choose a drawer. Only one. What happens after that is almost magical. The simple fact of having started breaks the inertia. And when we start moving, the brain releases dopamine, which brings a sense of conquest, even small. This gives you more energy to continue. That is, the motivation does not come before the action. It comes after the action. And look, it doesn't mean you have to force yourself to do everything every day. It's not about being perfect. It is about honoring small commitments to yourself, even when the will does not appear. Gentle discipline. How to create constancy without breaking. When you hear discipline, what is the first image that comes to mind? Maybe someone super rigid, waking up at 5 in the morning, military routine, all timed, no room for error. Right? But let me tell you a secret. This vision is outdated. True discipline, the one that works in the real world, is not about total control. It is about welcoming your failures without losing the thread of the walk. It is the famous gentle discipline, one who understands that you are human, who has good days and bad days, who feels tired, who sometimes does not realize. And that's fine. To be constant is never stop. It is to know how to start again with ease. Some practical ways to apply gentle discipline in real life. Create a rhythm, not a prison. Instead of hard rules, I have to do this every day or I'm a failure. Create light rituals that help keep focus. Type, every day after coffee I write 5 minutes. Simple, adaptable, possible. Use the emotional minimum viable. If today is difficult, ask, what is the smallest step that still makes me feel proud? Maybe today you can't do 1 hour of training, but you can stretch 5 minutes. And it's all right. Have a recovery plan. You will fail. Yes, you will, because everyone fails. The difference between those who advance and those who give up is not never miss. It's knowing what to do after you slip. Create a ritual of resumption, something that helps you to return to the axis with affection. It can be a journaling, a bath, a conversation with someone who supports you. What works for you? Celebrate progress, not perfection. There is a day that just getting out of bed is already a victory. There is a week that being able to wash the dishes is a hell of an act of self-love. Celebrate this. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not with an unattainable ideal. Being disciplined is not being cold or robotic, is to be committed to your long-term well-being. It's saying yes to your more aligned version, even if you slip on the way from time to time. Identity and habits. Do you act like who you want to be? Now that we have talked about motivation, minimal action, and gentle discipline, there is a point that ties all this in a deep way. Identity. Think with me. The way you act every day is saying, without words, who you believe you are. And here comes the question that can turn the key. Are you acting like the person you want to become? Because it's not about being perfect, nor about already being there. It's about acting today as someone who has already begun to be. For example, want to be a healthier person? Start by asking yourself, what would a healthy person do now? Maybe this person doesn't run a marathon today, but maybe they choose to drink water, go for a walk, sleep a little earlier. And each of these choices, however small it may seem, reinforces an identity. When you repeat a habit, you are repeating an identity statement. Every time you sit down to study, even tired, you are saying, I am someone who is committed to your growth. Every time you choose to take care of yourself, instead of sabotaging yourself, you're saying, I respect myself. It's not about the end result. It's about the kind of person you're becoming by doing a little bit every day. Conclusion, you don't need strength, you need direction. If there is one thing I want to remind you of now, it's this. You're not alone. Feeling like you can't handle it is normal, but that doesn't define you. The motivation may even fail, but the choice to continue one step at a time, this is in your hands. You don't have to do everything or always get it right. You just need not give up on yourself. Respect your limits. And remember, constancy is more powerful than intensity. You are able to build the life you want, and you can start today, even if it's little by little. If this content made sense to you, tell me here in the comments, what was the insight that touched you the most? If this video made sense to you, share it with at least one person. She may also need to break free from the shackles, just as you have been until now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every day has video N to remind you of what you are capable.